Privada Icon Series presents Jose Orlando Padron. Born in 1926, Jose grew up in the Pinar del Rio region of Cuba, famed for its tobacco. His family had been growing tobacco there since the 1850s. In 1961, Jose moved from Cuba to Spain after his tobacco farm was nationalized by Fidel Castro. After a year or two in Spain, he then moved to New York City, where he spent a few months before taking a Greyhound bus down to Miami, Florida. After spending a few months searching for a job and employment in Miami, Florida, he was given a hammer by his friend Raul Fernandez, who was a carpenter, who also taught him some of the trade of carpentry. That hammer signifies the beginning of Padron Cigars. The reason for this is because Jose attributes the money he earned to create his factory to that hammer. And that is why to this day you see a hammer on some of the Padron cigar bands. Using that hammer, Don Orlando was able to save up $600 to create his first ever cigar factory in Miami, Florida, with only one roller. In the beginning, Don Orlando used broadleaf tobacco. In fact, his cigars were made purely of broadleaf tobacco, making them broadleaf puros. One of the things that made his cigars popular right from the beginning was a twisted cap that he would put on each cigar. It was very reminiscent of the cigars that the people of Miami grew up smoking in Cuba. Over time, Don Orlando found broadleaf both inconsistent and hard to find. Around this time, he was visited by a man from Nicaragua. He brought with him samples of tobacco from Esteli. Don Orlando found these tobaccos to be very reminiscent of the tobaccos he grew up using in Cuba and took a liking to them immediately. It was around 1967 when Don Orlando started using Nicaraguan tobacco. By 1970, he found it so hard to keep up with Nicaraguan tobacco, he decided to move to Esteli. Padron tried to remain apolitical, meaning not choosing sides during his time in Nicaragua, but it was very hard. There was a revolution going on, and at one point, his factory was burned to the ground. We have to remember, this was during the time of the Sandinista rebellion in that region. Things were touchy, to say the least. After his factory was burned down, he began to rebuild, but he also built a factory in Honduras just in case Nicaragua kept having political problems. Eventually, Don Orlando was able to make peace with a Sandinista official and resume his work in Nicaragua. Shortly after that, however, there were more problems. The United States embargo with Nicaragua that President Reagan initiated. Don Orlando must have been a very smooth operator because even during the embargo, he was able to get a 6-month extension to keep bringing his product into the States. During this time, Don Orlando went to Tampa and began making cigars in Tampa for a very brief period of time until the U.S. embargo was over with Nicaragua. What happened after that made cigar history. Today, Padron can be found in brick and mortars all across the country, in every state, in every city. It has the reputation of being one of the best cigars on the market. And no matter what you think about Padron, you have to admit, they are in a category of their own. Privada Icon Series would like to honor Jose Orlando Padron. May you rest in peace. What you did for this industry was revolutionary. Your style of cigars have been mimicked to this day. There's nothing quite like smoking that box press, Maduro or natural Padron cigar. Nothing smokes like it. And I think we owe a debt of gratitude to Jose Orlando Padron, a true cigar icon.